So I think my parents asked me. They asked me, who do I think created the universe?
Yeah.
I told them that question in itself is wrong. It's not who created the universe. It's what created the universe.
Yeah, you told me that,
the
right?
Big Bang. And the Big Bang created the universe.
Yeah.
The proper question is who initiated the Big Bang? And I would say, as a religious person, God. It's kind of like if you had put 20 dominoes in some line, in some design, and you pushed one over.
Yeah.
You did not make the other 19 fall like that.
Yeah.
Yes, you planned for it to fall like that, but you did not make contact with them. You initiated it by pushing the one over. The other 19 fell over as a result, as nature intended. So I understand nature is another creation of God, but to me it's kind of like it's a separate thing. Nature is not God. Nature is something God created to
In his
handle
vision.
things the way that He would.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we consider as natural, what we consider as godly, is natural.
Yep.
Like the idea of the growth of a plant. God is not making it grow. Nature is making it grow through sunlight, through water, through nutrients.
Yeah.
God created nature, so nature can do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the idea of subordinates, right? You would, but this whole concept about in Islam of a man being higher than a woman, no. That is wrong. That is completely way off base.
No. It's not Islamic, bro. I think it's cultural.
His belief.
It's as much like it's cultural and it's embedded into him because he thinks the environment he was brought in is ideal long as you keep the woman under control.
His base, like his justification, is that it's in Islam. It's not. Islam says mothers first.
And the only reason he follows that is because of his own insecurities. He has insecurities with his wife or whatever. So I was like, okay, well. But it still doesn't make it makes brown people look bad.
Do you know what part of India he came from?
The Pakistani man. He's from Pakistan.
Right. No, because the thing is, it sounds like he came from a more reserved part, but more like not even conservative. Because even conservative would take the time to understand what they're doing. I'd say not a stupid part, but a lesser intellect. Like more like a country village side.
Yeah.
That they don't question things. They're just
told. Do you want to order today or?
Yeah. Basically, that's so.
No, it's just a very closed-minded perspective, and not addressing the contribution of women in the house as equal to the man working and financially earning for the family. Was as closed-minded as could have been from his mouth, and as soon as I heard that, I walked away from the conversation because he's the kind of guy you can't get shit into his head. He just creates 10 other arguments that are irrelevant to the question, right?
But remember,
I didn't even want to have that conversation.
That kind of intelligence, that kind of thought, that learning, it's not that people like him are the problem. They are a symptom. It is because of previous teachings before him. Chances are for him to think like that, either his dad or his parents taught him the same thing.
Or he saw
in which case their parents taught them. Their parents taught. It goes back generation after generation. Not
just that. I'm sure there's one factor of the fact that he doesn't trust women, period, right? The fact that a woman can leave you and she'll take half your money and shit like that. Why do they deserve it when I earned it and shit like that? And I'm like,
they did their own own thing to earn it.
Like, yeah, exactly. They contributed in the family. You wouldn't have been able to go work if you didn't have 2 times worth of food.
If he had a wife that just sat at home all day long, just watched TV and talked on the phone and did nothing.
You know what I mean?
Then I say, you know what? No, in that case, you're right. You did all the work. You brought that stuff home. You brought the money home that got that. You should keep it all.
No,
but when you have a wife or a girlfriend that you live with that is making an honest effort, whether it be at her own job or while she's home, she's cooking, she's cleaning, work is work.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what the work is, as long as it's good, decent work.
And it makes it makes the world go round. It's because of women and shit. Like, why not treat them as equal? I don't understand. He's so adamant about not treating them as equal, but that's not at all fair to women. If anything, they give you the babies. They're the ones who created this world after God.
My thought is that I go to work. I earn money. I buy whatever the hell I want with my money after my responsibilities have been taken care of.
Are done, yeah.
I think that's okay. But at the same time, I am not going to discount what my wife does at home.
Not discounting, yeah.
Because I know that if she didn't do it during the day, then I would go home and have to do it myself.
And you
if
take
I
care
did
of
it, I wouldn't have time
once
for
you
myself.
take care of a young child, one day you
Oh.
will know. Like I've been to a point in 2 hours I've called my wife and be like,
Help me. No, I did the same thing. When I was first learning to babysit for my cousins and everything,
Yeah.
my first day as exposure to it, they didn't let me do it alone. I thought, that's fair enough. I'm a complete noob to this.
Yeah.
One of my other cousins, a girl who is just as old as me, she told me to come over to her place, stay there for a couple nights while she babysits for a couple days straight. So I thought, okay, you know what? Her parents don't have a problem with it. We're family.
Yeah.
So she told me, like, just come over, stay for a couple of days. I can help her, and at the same time, I can learn from her. And I saw the crap that she did. I thought, holy shit, get Encyclopedia Britannica over here. They have a new damn book to write.
It's humbling, yeah, right? Yeah.
I saw that, and I thought, it's like one of those things where I thought that honestly, without first-hand experience, there's no way in a million years I could fully contemplate. Because originally, I thought I understood what it's like to take care of a kid by hearing about it.
Yeah.
By seeing, and then by reading about it. But
Firsthand.
then I thought that when I was there, I thought,
It's just very
like, the
naive.
kids are okay. Like, when she left me alone to figure it out for a little bit myself, I reached the point where I thought, no, the kids are okay. They've eaten food. They're relaxing. They're
Yeah.
playing games. They're safe. They're in the house. But at the same time, what it took from me to get them to that position, I was stuck sitting at a chair for half an hour, not able to move. Thinking that if right now everything is in such a delicate situation, if I move 1 millimeter out of place, shit's gonna go to hell. And I'm gonna be stuck there to fix it. And I thought, oh God. I had a whole new respect for anyone that stays at home after that. That's when I realized, you know what? Going out and after I get in a job, going to that job is easier than staying home.
I know, I
Shit
agree,
ton
and
easier.
that's why it's
And then
humbling,
you
if
have
anything.
Jocelyn, who not only handles a ton of crap at home for you,
She
but at
does.
the same time, she has a job.
Yep.
So the fact
Oh, my
that,
mom's
like,
coming on Sunday, so that
that
doesn't
works too.
happen.
But even then, though, Jocelyn works.
Mom
A small
takes care
job,
of-
yes.
Still,
But,
like,
no, that's later
look at
on. I mean,
mom's
right now.
My mom's contribution to the.
But
6
that's
months
later.
She's gonna be here.
That's later. I mean, now and before. Jocelyn was working,
Yeah,
and she was doing the majority of the work of taking care of Divya and the home and everything.
yeah. I know. I'll say.
Honestly, if you ever mentioned to me that you restricted her from doing something for fun just for herself,
No,
I
no,
probably
I'm
would
the
have
last
manually
person- See,
removed
that's the
3 of
thing.
your teeth.
I since because of my wife's influence, I've been the most. I try to be the most unbiased person because I try to weigh everything from every other perspective, which a lot of people in this world don't. You know.
They need to learn
So
that. But at the
once
same
you-
time, though, it's
Once you're up to par with that,
not
it's,
the perspective of the person, it's where the perspective came from.
yeah, I know.
The thing
But
is,
why get stuck in that? Our lives are unique for the fact that we're living it differently than what's happened in the
thing is,
past.
we don't exist
The only way
alone.
you can change it is by making every decision as
A team.
in the present. I believe in living in the present, not making decisions as per our past or experiences from the past. That's how life can be infinite.
But
and it
my
can
thing
be
is a little
narrowed
bit
down
different
to
from
one.
that, but at the same time, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
The decisions I make now is for the future, but not in a sense that this is exactly how it's going to happen. It's more like, I know this is a possibility that this might happen.
Yeah.
Let's just set aside a little bit of money now just in case that happens. Or I could
You
use
have a
this in
pen?
the next 6 months. Never. I never have a pen. So my future preparation is not that I'm going to force things to happen a certain way. No, it's just that I think there's like 5 different ways this could happen. I'm prepared for the 5 ways. Ways 6 and 7 come up. Sorry, but whatever. Deal with it.
Yeah, man.
So, but the thing is that with the way Prince was coming back saying that men are more important than women in Islam,
makes all brown people look
actually,
extremist.
it's not even that. Actually, different parts of the Quran say the exact opposite.
But that's what he's
Women
saying. He's
are
like,
more
oh,
important.
Quran says this, and I'm like,
Quran does
I
not say
do
that.
not think so. I do not think that an unbiased book that's supposed to be about how you can live life without being judged is going to judge someone by segregating them into a man and a woman. Like they're
No.
living beings. They're contributing to society by just being themselves. a woman is being herself by being in the house up to this century, like it's been defined as that, as their role, which they've come up to, right? Like they've done their part.
But remember, keep
But
in mind
even now,
that
when
staying
they're
at
coming
home
up
is not the only option for them either.
exactly, not anymore. And
As far as I'm
they're
concerned,
proving their ground,
if someone
right?
wants to go to school, they want to learn, they want to get a job. Honestly, again, as long as you're doing something decent,
Yeah.
all right. If you want to get a job, great. But I have a problem with getting a job as a stripper or something. All right, that's
Of course, I
Yeah,
understand.
well-
That's more like a Western perspective
Yeah.
on being open-minded. But
yeah. But I think at the same time, though, you want to like say that if I got married and my wife has no education here, but she wants to become a dental hygienist, she wants to do that. My thought is, you know what? Okay, You want to do that? I understand that. Let's look at everything right now. How is our home life like? Can it handle, like, does it need you to be home the whole time?
Yeah.
Or does it allow you to go out? Let's have a discussion about this. I'm not going to say that I'm against it, but I'm not going to say I'm for it. Let's talk about it.
yeah,
And it turns out after talking for minutes, hours, days, weeks, whatever, and without an argument, we come to the agreement that this is the way we should move ahead. We should move ahead with you staying at home.
yeah,
I don't want to force that on you. I want to talk to you about it, and we have to come to a mutual understanding.
yeah,
But at the same time, after we discuss it, and it turns out that actually, you know what? There's enough for us to handle at home when we're together after work. So really, during the day, you can go to classes and then later get a job. Then the next discussion. What school, where, what timings, and how much money? You know, plan it out. I'm never going to be against the idea of a woman wanting to step up because as far as I'm concerned, as long as I can see any real contribution in any way.
yeah.
It could be you're at home taking care of your children all day long.
yeah.
God, that is painful and borderline barbaric torture. But at the same time, that could also be going out, getting a job, earning money. It's equal to me. But equal more in a sense that there is an obvious contribution. But say, for example, I get married and I come home. My wife does not have a job, does not go to school, nothing. But I come home and I don't see any difference either. I don't see anything's been cleaned up. I don't see that any effort's been made to anything. Then I'm not gonna yell and scream and say you're lazy, you don't do anything, blah blah. I'm gonna ask, what was your day like?
But that's relationship. You have to communicate to find out what happened, what's
I'm
different.
gonna ask him. I'm gonna ask him, like, oh,
If you
how
can
was your
be
day?
of help, yeah.
What'd you do? Like, what happened? Did you have a good day? Did you have a bad day? And if so, like, what direction? What can I do? If I find out that all she did was just sit on the phone and talk all day, then in my mind, I'm gonna be like, that better been some really fucking important conversations. Like, you must be managing some huge shit right now in order for that to be okay. But again, depends on the conversation. For all you know, maybe her sister passed away
Yeah.
in India or Pakistan. Are you gonna say jack shit to her about not cleaning or doing anything? No. If you want to live to the next day yourself, you are going to shut up, you're gonna listen, you're gonna understand. It's not even what they do, it's what comes as a result of it.
Yeah.
It's not the job that I do at work. The fact is, I bring money home. That's the result. It's not that she cooked and cleaned all day. It's that when I came home, things were in order. There was food ready. There were things to clean up. But again, at the same time, it could be the other way around. What if I'm the one at home all day? She's the one that worked. She got money and she brought it home so that we can live our lives. Me? I took care of the kids. I took care of the house. I made sure all the appointments and everything were in order. It's never the means, it's the results.
Yeah.
And the
And you
result
don't
is
associate-
your lives together must be made easier one
And
way or
clearly,
another.
you don't associate working at home for the family as a menial task or something below you, right? And that's what the perspective of a guy like Prince is, because he thinks it's not a man's job. But that's very, very naive, considering if the other spouse in the family is contributing financially or other ways, then who are you to judge it like that? So I think it's just it's very, I don't know.
The only difference that I would recognize
All I know is I would
between a
never
woman and a man,
yeah.
really, there's only two. One that I would attribute to everyone, physical. Women, like, women's bodies are designed to have children. I mean, they have larger breasts than they do. I mean, they're just in general, like, those are obvious things.
Penis and a vagina.
Pretty much. But there is another aspect, but I'd not attribute this to every woman. I think about it carefully before I say this is true about this woman. Emotionally. It is widely accepted, with a grain of salt, that women are more emotional than men. Keywords with a grain of salt. I believe this is true for the most part. But I'm not going to say, like, the next woman I meet, you're a woman, you must cry a lot. No. My aunt passed away on Tuesday.
Okay.
So yesterday...
Sorry to hear that.
It's alright, I appreciate it. But yesterday, Muslims have this thing where it's sunnah, meaning like if you can do it, it'll be great. If not, it's not required. That if you can do the burial and the viewing and everything within 24 hours.
I see.
So I didn't come in yesterday, so I could attend the viewing and the prayers and the burial and everything.
Yeah.
You know who cried more than the women? The men.
I see.
All of the men. All of them. But the thing is, I did not say they're weak. And not in my mind for one moment I think anything's wrong with them. You know what was my thought? Crying tears now means that you're getting it out of your system. You're accepting it as something that happened. If anything, I was more concerned about those that weren't crying. Her 2 sons, I know they're strong guys. I know they are. They're
It's the
emotionally
stages
fit.
of grievance, right?
Exactly. But my words to their sons, tears that leave your body are better than the tears that remain within. I'm not saying crying is for women. I'm saying if you need to cry to get it out of your system, do it. If you don't need to, if you're either that kind of person or you're at that point where you're comfortable, okay. But there is nothing that says that women do this, men do that. No.
It's defined by the times. Defined by the times, culture.
Women, a lot of women in Pakistan and India believe that, and a lot of men believe this too, women are not allowed in graveyards, in general. My response is, and this was even to my grandparents, you're wrong. No, I'm not going to get angry, I'm just going to say, no, you're wrong. That's it. And they challenged me on it, and I thought, fair enough. Challenged me on it, okay. I think they told me their points.
But again, even you could have contemplated that their belief system is a little older than what currently
That's
is.
why they presented their point. And they said that, it's written in the hadith that women are no longer allowed to enter cemeteries. So I thought, okay, you know what?
No longer.
Exactly. There's a couple words in here. First of all, hadiths. Hadiths are just stories about the Prophet. Some are items that are required. Most of them are items that are best if you can. But the thing is, it's not in stone. So I thought, okay, you know what? No, 2 words. 1, no longer. 2, hadiths. Okay. Where's the weakness in that? I researched it. Turns out that I can't remember exactly. I can't remember names for shit. But someone had passed away in Islam history, and I think it was either his wife or his mother. She could not control herself when he passed away. So she had wailed as loud as possible. Women were banned as a result of that because the real rule is that in a cemetery you need to control yourself. You cannot make so much noise in such a scene. Later on, some years later, that ban from women was uplifted by the same person who put the ban in place. His ruling was, women have learned now of the importance of staying true to the ceremony, to the rituals. Now, that rule applies to men and women. Control yourself. If you cannot control yourself, leave. You're not allowed here. I will be the first to admit there are many things in Islam that do target genders. That is true. But careful how you read it. And his thing about how men are more important than women, in Islam, as one of the pillars in the Quran, everywhere, it actually tells you which parent to prefer over the other. And this is the exact order. Mother, 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 then father.
I see.
You see the importance of mothers and in turn of women in a family.
Yeah.
It says mother 3 times and then the father. Then would come all equal siblings, brothers and sisters at the same level.
Yeah.
And to a lot of Muslims, you would probably say in response, oh, but in a family, fathers are the representation of God. Well, my response to you,
Mom and dad are.
no, it's not that. It actually is. Father's the representation of God in your family. A mother's feet are the gates to heaven. What is the use of seeing a God if you're not going to get through the gates?
True. I'm telling you, most of this is so much personal interpretation and depends on your viewpoint and how you take the point. And people sometimes take it to an extreme and think that it's their personality that's being attacked when people are critical about such a behavior.
But then it's not just that. It's look at what our reaction is to it. In Princess A, he has this understanding. But to me, this is evidence that his wife is not doing much to fight back. Mm-hmm. This is something
because he doesn't confront her with his wife.
He thinks he knows better.
Well, we'll see how long that'll work for him in his favor. Then he goes on to say the fact that he wants a 25-year-old girl, another girl who he wants to marry, and she should be rich.
No, she'll kill him.
She'll kill him. Like,
I will admit this as a personal.
The white guy who came over, he's like, yo, dude, I know it works in Pakistan and it's fine in Pakistan, but guess what? This kind of shit doesn't work in Canada.
Canada doesn't work anywhere else.
Yeah.
There are certain things that I would prefer women over as a personal preference. I would prefer my doctor to be a woman. Mainly because overall, like I said, women are more emotional. Not true for everyone,
yeah,
but a good number are, enough to say majority.
You're gonna eat this.
I will. For me, if someone had to give me a bad news, in my personal experience, because women were more emotional, they were more sympathetic. It may have been harder for them to deliver the news. So if I found out that I've been sick with a few things in my lifetime. I have gotten many serious illnesses and diseases from many doctors, like the diagnosis. What I've noticed, men, I'm sorry, but you have this. Straight out. And that's it. He said, here's your options. What would you like to do? And I'm thinking, you just told me that I have a severe case of hypothermia, which I know can kill people. I appreciate you being direct and not beating about the bush about it, but come on. I once had malaria, another very deadly disease. I went to another doctor instead.
Yeah.
This is my favorite doctor. You know what she told me? You have all these symptoms.
Yeah.
This leads me to believe that you have this. But there could even be a 1% chance something wrong with my tests. I'm resubmitting the tests. Yeah. I want you to go see another doctor just in case and reconfirm. And she's the same thing. Like, if you see the same thing, come back to me. I want to sit with you. I want to work this out with you. Here's all these different plans. We can figure this out together. And I'm thinking, those words right there. We can figure this out together. I have had many male doctors in my lifetime. I've never heard that from them. I had a female doctor once for this one thing. First visit, this is what I hear. I think, you know what? Now my personal perception of what kind of a doctor I want, women is becoming more and more of a requirement.
Yeah.
I'm not some sick pervert that says that, no, I want women, but for what happened here, they're better. That's it.
In a respectful way, you know?
Exactly.
Like, it's not about who's smarter, who's more educated. It's just.
It had nothing to do with that.
It's just about.
It was just. That's why I always try to be careful to say that it's not even really just men and women, but in that case, that doctor I like more. It's like she knows how to speak to me. When we're just joking around, she like swears and everything left, right, and center. Because she knows that I like to joke around. I don't like serious situations.
Yeah.
So, make some new jokes here and there, and like we tell stories and stuff. Great, fun. Now it's time to really be serious. She's not just handing things out to me like she's throwing a brick at me. No, she's easing into it. She's not overdoing it. She's taking the time to understand what's going on in my head, and she talked to me. She flat out asked me, I just told you this, I know this is really big news. Would you mind telling me what's going through your head right now? What are you thinking? It's like, I can help you. I'm your doctor, I can help you figure this out. Just please, like, open up to me. But you know what? I have my new permanent doctor, I'm done. screw the rest of the bastards.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what I wanted. But again, that was how that doctor treated me.
Yeah.
My personal experience tells me, I have seen that more from women, female doctors, than men. So, because of that, I'm inclined to go with a female doctor.
Yeah.
But now that I explained that to you, is there anything really wrong with my logic?
No.
I'm not saying men doctors are worse. I'm just saying that my experience pushes me towards them.
Personal perception, like I said, life has infinite possibilities. It's the one you choose.
But at the same time, if you had the experiences that I told you, what do you think?
I don't know. I'd probably steer the same way, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
But it was a logical progression. There was no assumption. It was actual physical experience that said, go here. This might be a safer idea for you.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing. The different degrees between the female doctors, they're different doctors. Of course, some are going to be better, some are going to be worse. Everyone's like that. That one doctor I found, that's it. I don't care. Hey, if I have enough money and she decides to retire, I will pay her a salary to at least use me as a patient. Or at least like on a pay-as-you-go basis. You know, it's like a consultant or something.
Yeah.
I would say that I don't care if you're not my doctor anymore. I don't care if you're retired. Have a little talk with me. I'll give you a commission rate or something.
Yeah.
And after I talk to you, then I'll go like, or maybe like you'll be like my second doctor. You know, like you go to another doctor to reconfirm if you have something dangerous or not. You're my reconfirmation.
Yeah.
I'll sign paperwork that says that you're allowed. But I have to say this though, I feel sorry not for Prince's wife because she is his wife. She has the right to fight him back. I feel sorry for his daughter.
Oh yeah. No, I know. It's even worse for them because he's even confirmed that to the point that he could kill them. You know, and that's kind of extreme if you ask me.
I wouldn't touch my kid. My kid could come up to me and say, like, if I had a daughter, she can come up to me and say she's a lesbian atheist. But if my daughter came up to me and she said, I'm not Muslim anymore, I'm atheist or Christian or Hindu or whatever, and guess what, I'm also a lesbian, I'd say, you know what? You're my daughter. What? Okay, thank you for telling me. Want to go watch a movie? It's like, want to eat something? Like, you're my daughter, I love you. I'm not gonna say that.
No, it's not even about that. It's any belief people have, like it's always up for a change. It's just they need to see things your way, or they need to see different other perspectives to analyze or balance their perspective at the end of the day. And life is all about changing every day. But people, like I told you, hold on to certain personalities because they think certain characteristics because they think that's their personality, that's their individuality. But that's not the truth. It's any person's perspective is influenced by the environment they grow up in, or they're brought up in, or they're influenced by. So it's just very naive to just think that it's all one way and there's no other way for me to be, and I'll die if I don't. You know, it's just too extreme. There's always something up for change, right?
The only control that I believe that a man should have over a woman, really, to a certain extent, is a father over a daughter. That's it. And even then, though, even if it's a father over a daughter, to a limit.
Yeah.
You don't want your daughter to sit at home all day long when she could be outside playing. But man, I feel sorry for his daughter. And now I begin to wonder, I mean, he and KD spend a lot of time together outside of work.
KD, yeah, but
I don't think they're the same.
Well, they might not be the same, but at the end of the day, he's not none the wiser because he's almost the same generation or maybe older. You know?
But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Maybe he's just more understanding.
Well, he's Hindu, so I have every reason to believe he's very open-minded. Like, you know,
but at the same
not
time,
open-minded,
remember,
at least.
his wife has the same job as him.
I know. I'm telling you.
And since his wife has the same job but at different hours, that means during the day he has to be home and take care of his children. So I'm sure, if anything, that alone is more. It gives him more of an understanding. So KD might be better because he has time in both worlds every day. Because if KD screws up during the day, you don't think Smitty's gonna find out and kick his ass? He's probably nail him to the wall.